Don't fry eggs with oil anymore, that's old-fashioned. Today I'm using just a little water, about 30 to 40 milliliters, and the eggs still cook beautifully, with no burnt edges, and the yolk stays soft and smooth. Hard to believe, right? Let's make it together. First, I prepare 2 fresh eggs. Fresh eggs have firmer whites, and when cooked they look neater and more beautiful. I place a non-stick pan on the stove. This step is important. A non-stick pan helps the eggs not stick to the bottom, and everything comes out very gently. Now I add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water into the pan, about 30 to 40 milliliters only. Don't pour too much, we just need a thin layer of water covering the bottom of the pan. I turn the heat to medium and wait a moment. Pay attention here, when the water starts to gently simmer, you will see tiny bubbles forming at the bottom of the pan. That is the perfect signal. At this point, I gently crack the eggs into the pan. I do it slowly, not in a hurry, because we want the yolk to stay intact. It looks much more satisfying that way. And I crack each egg a little apart from the other so they don't stick together. That way when we lift them out later, they'll look round and beautiful. Alright, now I cover the pan with a lid. You see, we are not frying, not sautéing. We're simply letting the heat and the water do the work, so the eggs cook gently without burnt edges. After about 1 minute, I open the lid to check. Oh, look at this. The egg whites are evenly cooked, with no brown crispy edges like when frying in oil. And the yolk is still soft and smooth, looking very visually pleasing. Now I use a flat spatula to lift the eggs onto a plate. I lift them gently, almost like I'm lifting something delicate, so the eggs keep their shape and don't tear. And here is the part one like most, because there's no oil, the eggs keep a light and clean taste. You can eat them with toast, with salad, with boiled vegetables, or simply add a little salt and pepper and you already have a breakfast that is easy to digest and light on the stomach. Alright, the no oil eggs are done. Now let's make the second dish, a little more tempting. This one keeps you full longer, soft and fragrant, and still very gentle to make, not complicated at all. First, I prepare a clean bowl, then gently crack 3 eggs into it. Which beautiful country are you watching this video from? Leave me a comment and let me know. I add a little salt, then start beating the eggs. You can use a whisk or chopsticks. I beat until the eggs turn evenly yellow, with fine bubbles on the surface and slightly thicker. When eggs are beaten well like this, they will be softer and more fragrant when poured over the potatoes, and the color will look much more appealing. Now I move on to the potatoes. Today I only use about 200 to 300 g of potatoes. This amount is just enough to make a neat cake, not too thick, perfect for breakfast or a light meal. I peel the potatoes, removing any eyes, if there are any. Then I quickly rinse them under clean water to wash off some of the starch on the outside. Next, I take a grater. I grate the potatoes lengthwise so the strands are long and even. Grate gently but steadily. The more even the strands, the more evenly the cake will cook, and it will also look nicer. After grating, I place all the potatoes into a bowl of cold water and soak them for about 10 to 15 minutes. This step prevents the potatoes from turning brown, and more importantly, allows excess starch to dissolve into the water. That way the cake will feel lighter and easier to eat. While waiting for the potatoes to soak, I prepare 2 tomatoes. I choose fresh tomatoes that feel firm in the hand, with smooth skin and an even red color. I slice them into thin, bite-sized pieces, not too thick so they cook easily, but not too thin so when heated they remain juicy and don't fall apart. Next is green onion. For this dish we only use green onion, it suits the flavor better. I wash it clean, then chop it finely, so later I can sprinkle it on top of the cake. It smells wonderful. After soaking, I drain the potatoes and squeeze them very dry. Please remember this step for me, the drier the potatoes, the better the cake will turn out. If there is too much water left, the cake can become soggy and won't brown nicely. I put the potatoes into a large bowl, then add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, a pinch of ground black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Then I mix well, gently lifting from the bottom up so the potato strands are evenly coated with seasoning without breaking apart. At this point, you will see the potatoes have a beautiful color and the aroma becomes very noticeable. Now I heat the pan. I add just a little cooking oil, then use a brush or paper towel to spread it into a very thin layer to prevent sticking. We don't need much oil. When the pan is moderately hot, I add the potatoes, spreading them evenly into a neat layer, then gently press to shape it into a cake. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? If not, please press the subscribe button to support me. Thank you. Right after that, I pour the beaten eggs over the top. I pour slowly so the eggs spread evenly, and you will see the eggs flow down between the potato strands. This is the binder that helps the cake hold its shape and not break when flipped. Now I let the cake cook over medium heat. When the bottom starts to turn lightly golden, and you see the cake beginning to set, I flip it decisively. After flipping, look at this, the surface is golden brown and extremely appealing. At that moment, I arrange the tomato slices on top, spreading them evenly so every piece has tomato. Next, I sprinkle the chopped green onion over the top. The aroma becomes very pleasant, making this potato egg dish really come alive. Then comes the cheese. I sprinkle the cheese slowly, covering the surface evenly but not too thick. Just enough so that when the cheese melts, it covers the layer of potatoes underneath and adds a light richness. Alright, I cover the pan with a lid for a few minutes so the cheese can melt. While waiting for the cheese to melt, I quickly prepare the side salad so the dish won't feel heavy. I prepare lettuce, cucumber, and parsley or my favorite herbs. I place them in a bowl, add a little salt, and lightly sprinkle some black pepper. I usually like to add a little olive oil. What about you? Then I toss everything together. This is my favorite salad. Now let's return to the pan. I open the lid. Wow, it really looks satisfying. The cheese has completely melted, stretching slightly across the surface of the cake. The potatoes are soft and golden, the tomatoes are gently cooked and fragrant, and the green onion aroma is very clear. Our dish is finished. Now I turn off the heat and let the cake rest in the pan for another 20 to 30 seconds. This small tip helps the cheese set again, so when we take it out, the cake holds its shape and the top layer won't tear. I transfer the cake to a plate. Very easy. Look at this, the surface is beautifully golden brown, the tomatoes are cooked but still juicy, the cheese forms a soft smooth layer, and the green onion smells warm and inviting. This dish tastes best when eaten hot. When you take a bite, you'll feel the soft, fluffy potatoes, the fragrant eggs, the light richness of the cheese, and the gentle sweetness of the tomatoes that keeps the dish from feeling heavy. I place the cake on a plate, then spoon the salad next to it. The crisp, refreshing salad paired with the warm cake. The feeling is very balanced, filling, yet light on the stomach. So today we have two dishes in one video. A silky no-oil egg tip, and a potato egg cake topped with tomato and cheese served with a refreshing salad. If you find this recipe helpful, remember to like, subscribe to Merry Home, and share the video so I have more motivation to make more simple and delicious dishes. And if you try making it, please share your thoughts with me about the dish. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.